I've been slowly trying to correct something that's been wrong with my squat since pretty much forever. Basically, it was a bad habit I developed when I very first started squatting, which is when I have the bar on my back, my arms are way back like this, basically. Can't fucking do without the bar, but so what I've been trying to do, which is more optimal, getting my arms in line with my torso as I descend, which if you look in the video I just put like previous to this talking part, it's a little better. It's still not great. I would still like them to be more, and what's I can do is let me engage my lats more, especially like my lower lats, and get a tighter upper back. So like I said, it's just a bad habit I developed long time ago that I never corrected, which is dumb of me. So I've been slowly working on correcting it. What kind of was the, took me over the precipice to fix it was I just been getting some like shoulder tendonitis a little bit, just because like I said, I've been squatting every day obviously, and that angle is not good for the shoulders. Squatting a few times a week has never bothered them, but when I do it every day, it starts bothering them eventually. So I'm just gonna fix it. Like today, shoulders felt great doing it. I've been working on the last like 3-4 days. So gotta get a little used to it, because it is, again, I'm not used to it exactly, but it's getting better. So yeah, if you're someone like me who has a bad habit when they do any lift, fix it when you can. Don't just ignore it for years and years and years and hope it doesn't come back to bite you, because it will. So time to review my weightlifting shoes. It's the Leistung 2, right now, Leistung 16.ii2. I really enjoy these shoes. I've had them for 6 months now. I probably should have done a review a while ago on them. Just kind of forgot about it. Supposedly they weigh about 17 ounces. I have big ass feet though. I wear 13s, sometimes 13 and a half. So they're probably a little heavier than mine. But on your feet, they don't feel too heavy. They're weighted well. They're well balanced, which for me is important. They have a pretty big heel. It's a 1-inch heel. Most heels are like 0.75 inches, is 1 inch. So it's good for a few things. Good for people with long femurs like me. Makes getting deeply easier. Good if, I don't know, you're 5'1" and need to look a little taller in the gym. But yeah, something to keep in mind. If you're a shorter athlete, these probably aren't the best for you unless you're short with like long ass femurs. But for taller people, they can be, be advantageous. The heel itself is super solid. It's steroplastic polyurethane, I think it's called. I did some Googling to figure it out, but very sturdy. It's supposed to be very durable, which I've noticed. It's, it doesn't compress. It's probably not the best if you're into like CrossFit stuff. We need to do things other than Olympic lifting, and because it's so sturdy, it's pretty heavy, like I talked about earlier, which probably isn't gonna be the best for like turnover rates on Olympic lifts, for like your jerk, for example. Probably not the best, but I am by no means an Olympic weightlifting expert, so I shouldn't really talk about that too much. But they've held really well. I did some, when I first got them, I did some Olympic lifting in them. Felt good to me, and I've been squatting every single day in them for, I don't know even how long I've been doing this, a couple months now, and they've held up incredibly well. The sole, it's got this crosshatch kind of Star David design, I guess. No real wear or tear on it at all, other than some fucking dirt, but really held up well. I highly recommend at least that type of material for your heel. Build quality is really good. I do not take good care of my shoes. I don't wash them or like anything, and whatever this fabric is, I think it's some kind of synthetic like, not the best, woven material, there we go, has held up really well. Like, I just literally throw these into a locker every day. Do not take good care of them at all, and there's no real scuffs or any like torn bits or anything like that on the shoe. It's held up super duper well, so for build quality you can't really go wrong. The only actual wear here, which is nothing, is on the Adidas logo on the back, where it's like this pleather leather shit, and that's just kind of worn a little bit from me hitting it on stuff, but that's the only wear, and I've had them, like I said, over 6 months now, I think, and literally nothing wrong with either shoe. So build quality is incredible. They breathe really well, surprisingly, for being a pretty heavy, thick shoe. So I don't feel like they don't stink or anything. They, yeah, there's some air that goes through. And then what I think is the coolest part is this BOA system. So you tie it normally, right? Tie your shoes, and then you click this in, and then, I don't know if I can see, turn it, and there's these wires that go around your whole foot that tighten up. And for me, it feels really good because it squeezes like down here around your arch, so it squeezes around the whole foot, so the shoe feels really secure. Like I said earlier, I have pretty damn big feet, and a lot of times shoes, just because maybe my ankles aren't really thick or something, they don't squeeze my foot, and I feel my heel like slide out a lot in shoes. But with these, because of this BOA thing, it holds my foot really secure, which obviously is a good thing when you're squatting or doing Olympic lifts and stuff. And they're pretty expensive. I think they run a little over $200 most places. I think on Rogue I saw $225. I got them for $110 because this color, which I'm not super duper fond of, was on sale for half off for some reason at the time I bought them. I'm not a huge fan of white shoes, but I mean, these look pretty decent. Like, it's got this brownish leather on the back, which is kind of cool, I guess. They kind of look like shape-ups a little bit, which I get made fun of for a lot, but I think the other colors honestly look better than this one, but like I said, it was $100 off, so fuck it. So for me, I'm going to give these shoes 9 out of 10. I wish they were slightly lighter, but other than that, really, I have no real complaints about the shoe. Like I said, I'm not an Olympic weightlifter, so I'm sure an Olympic weightlifter must have a slightly different take. But for what I need them for, they are more than adequate, and I can't see myself partying with them anytime soon. And the BOA system especially is my favorite thing, and I wish every pair of shoes that I own had that. So that's about it. If you have these shoes, let me know what you think of them. Other than that, yeah, if you're relatively a taller athlete or someone with long femurs, these are great shoes and good bang for your buck. So yeah, that's about it, guys. I love you all. See ya.